Hujambo mtazamaji popote ulipo, ni tumaini langu kwamba ubuheri wa afya. Bila shaka hii ni Women Politics TV ambapo tunaangazia uongozi wa kina mama, na leo hii tunaye women rep mtarajiwa katika kaunti ya Kiambu. Tunaenda kuzungumza naye, labda nitampa tu kipaza sauti atuambie anaitwa nani. Karibu sana mheshimiwa.
Asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Mrs. Mary Kirika. I come from Kiambu County. 2022, I know I vied as Mama County, Kiambu. And of course, I've been there for women under many women organizations, National Council, Women of Kenya, and the rest of it. Yeah, but for now, I intend to vie as a member of Parliament, Thika. I don't intend to vie as Mama County this time. I think I've given a lot of my time to the county on women matters, women issues. But now, Thika people, because that's where I reside. I reside from Thika, and therefore, people from Thika have actually requested me to vie as a member of parliament. So coming election, I'll be vying there, and I know I'll get this seat as a member of parliament, Thika. I know, as far as women issues are concerned, we've really been in this journey. If I give the history, I might take like a whole day. But I want to narrow down to maybe this journey regarding to women in leadership. Because when you go for an elective position, when you go for a nominative position, when you are appointed, you don't just come from nowhere. You must have been part of the people, part of the process of the leadership. And therefore, mine started long time ago because I have been in education. I've been a headmistress running schools and managing schools. And out of my education process and love to education, and after sharing a lot with the families, the challenges they go through in education, and particularly women, where they want to give the best education to their children, they are not able to do so, where women go for vibaruas, and you see, doing quite a lot to support their children. And so I became so passionate about women leadership and women empowerment programs. And so that's why I have been. From the education sector, I worked with the National Council of Women of Kenya. We did a lot of work to build the capacity for women, because we realized women feel inadequate even to vie. Women feel they are not the right people. Remember, these are the times when women would not really fully participate in politics because of the tradition and historical injustices, where it was seen like politics is for men, it's not for women. And therefore, we did a lot of work to build the capacity of the women and even to tell them, yes, they can make it. In the process, we came in now with the issue of the Constitution, 2010 Constitution. And from now, what we call Women Political Alliance, because I was a member of Women Political Alliance, we sat down, we discussed, and we said we must be in the process of the Constitution making. Reason being, we had seen the challenges that women go through. Those who had tried to vie positions, you'd see a very, very capable mama vying for a position, especially members of parliament. Those years we had very few ladies in parliament. And therefore, when the Constitution came, our very serious battle was, how are we going to increase representation in parliament? And therefore, we did a lot of work at the Women Political Alliance so that we could be incorporated in the constitution making. And we would sit the whole night, prepare the agenda for women. And we thank God at the end of the day, we were part of the process of that constitution making 2010. And it is out of that engagement that we were able to highlight the challenges that women go through and the need to raise the numbers in the leadership positions. Can I tell you, out of that 2010 constitution, a lot was accomplished, quite a lot. And for me, the issue of the constitution in Kenya, it was really for us as women. We are not yet there, but at least we made a lot of progress. Of course, constitution is progressive. Remember, any lady vying for maybe a member of parliament position, you'd find men coming in with a lot of muscle, a lot of money. Then the lady is here trying to buy. The husband, if the husband is there, is feeling like mama anapoteza pesa ya familia. Then familia yako, hii siasa sio ya mama, ni ya... And remember, I advised as a member of parliament, I'm talking out of experience, that you are told now hiyo sio area mama, especially because I'm a Christian. You know, I'm a born again Christian. And so, mommy, how do you go? Are you going to make it with the, and so on and so forth. And also remembering traditionally, even women were not supposed to really vie these positions. And therefore, it was quite a challenge. But through the Constitution 2010, we agreed in principle that we must raise the numbers of women in leadership, because it's out of putting them in leadership positions that you'd expect, of course, women to change, women to have confidence, because in leadership, of course, you become more exposed, you understand the issues, and you are able to support. And therefore, one of the achievements that I can talk of that we really raised and took a lot of time to discuss was the issue of now, remember, we only had parliament. We didn't have Senate. We didn't have devolved government. And therefore, we agreed that we needed a position strictly to be vied by women, where women were not to compete with men. And it is out of that one that we came up with the women representative positions in every county. And that one we achieved. And I can tell you the elections that followed, that was 2013. The number, of course, raised because we had 47 women, every mama supporting every county. And so for me, that was a strategy that really worked, that all of a sudden, we had 47 women in parliament. Remember also, after the Constitution 2010, we now had various, we had these Senate, we had the constitutional now bodies, where we used just to have parliament. But now, we were able to come up with the Senate. So again, you go to Senate, because of the clause, 2/3 gender rule, then you realize we were able again to have women in Senate. And therefore, out of that, there was this, what we call guaranteed representation. The agenda of 2/3 representation has worked miracles for women of Kenya, because it's not only at the national level, it's not only in parliament, it's not only in the Senate. We now have the devolved government, and therefore we have the county leadership. 2/3 gender rule does not just talk of those levels. It narrows down even to village representation. What I've loved most, you go to these, there are boards that are made constituted, because of course boards at the county levels, there are boards all over. But you hear people, somebody, a mama ask, ask, how is this gender? It has become a norm to every person that gender representation counts a lot. And so the issue of gender parity has really been considered. And for us, it is really, though Constitution, of course, is progressive, I would say it was our constitution was friendly to the governance of this country. However, there are various levels of leadership, even when you talk of 2/3. In Kenya, there is now these elective positions. I've gone through the challenges of elective positions. At one point, I vied as a member of parliament, Thika. And I can tell you it was not easy. It was hard. People would even not believe that I had, the energy and, the conviction that I would compete with those that I was competing with. I don't want to mention their names, those men. But some people would look at me, Mary Nawa Waze, and a lot of things. So that elective position has remained a thorn in the flesh because of the muscles, because of the challenges, because of the traditional issues, right? Which, of course, these days we are happy because people are positive. Come to the nominative positions. Nominative positions are normally from the political parties. It is another issue that we really have to keep on thinking about, because, how do we nominate people? According to the normal things that we do, somebody is supposed to be nominated maybe after serving the party. You do a lot of work for the party, and therefore it becomes obvious that you are part and parcel of that party. But is that what we see? I don't think that's what we see. You'll see a lady who will have done a lot of work for the party. I have worked with the parties up to the national level. I've been a deputy of a party, national deputy organizing secretary. So you are talking of a party, you've been there at the national level. But it's good because you see, some other parties would not consider ladies for that. But after the constitution now, we still had to be there. But what I would urge our political parties is to continue to support ladies, women, in the leadership of their parties. When we encourage women to be active in the political parties, that is another way also of building their capacity, because there will be leadership of the women docket in the party. And out of that, you are able to see those that are active, those who are committed in leadership. And now when it comes to the nomination, because there will always be nominations, then you are able to correct the right person, a person who can read, a person who's been there for a reason. Sometimes you look at some parties, it's a bit discouraging, because you see those ladies who've done a lot of work. When it comes to nominations, they are not there. They are not there. That area, we need as ladies to look into it so that it is on merit that so and so has worked for us as ladies, and we feel she's the right person. That is on nominative, through maybe nominative position, maybe through the political parties. We also have appointive positions, where you also appointed, maybe the government has positions. Of course, they want to appoint the ambassadors, they want to appoint various people. We feel that area, ladies are still, the appointment of ladies is still not very okay. We need to strengthen our policies, so that in these appointive positions, we are able to see women taking those ambassadorial positions, those major positions, because ladies are already there in this country. Ladies are already educated. Ladies are good leaders. If you look at the institutions that are led by ladies, you can tell the commitment. I'm looking forward to a time when we shall even have a presidential lady who will take it up. I know we've been having them, Mother Karua and the others. They have really tried, but I'm telling you, it's not easy, even for a lady to raise to that level of the presidential position. And that's why I want to continue telling our ladies, don't give up. Yeah, I love Mother Karua. She does not give up. I remember also our lady from Ukambani, Gilu. Those years, she wanted to be the president. we are just proud of her because she tried and she did what she could. I hope 2027 we shall also have ladies coming up, because ladies, we must continue to light the candle. We cannot put off the light. The light must continue to shine. So maybe that's a bit of what I would say, but the challenges are enormous, I can tell you. For a lady to be elected, it means you work 20 times more than mzee, than a man. 20 times more. Because women are volatile, women are delicate. You know, a lady will be threatened. You'll find people saying, hey, where, mama, you are threatened, right? So I'm telling you, for a mama to be elected, you work there for 20 times more than a man, spending money, because you still have to spend because of the logistics. You spend maybe 50 more times than a man to get a position. The issues of security. Mama needs security. For you to have security, it is still spending. You are spending money. You have, you have people down there saying, no. Sometimes we used to say that ladies are enemies of themselves. But we don't know. It's the same men who used to come up with the scenario. But today, women are so enlightened. Women are friends. Women keep on supporting each other. And therefore, I want to encourage women. Though the challenges are there, the issues that I've talked about, support is not there from the society also. I want to tell you, our society is not yet there, where they feel this lady has done a lot of work. Can we support her? We have not seen that very strong support. Kenyan system is a bit disappointing, because sometimes we are not looking for leaders. We are not looking for that experience. We are not vetting people even before we say this one we can erect. We just look at what one has brought on the table. Go from there, come weka pesa mingi, give to who. You don't have ideologies. You have never been a leader anywhere. You have never been in any institution. You have nothing to offer, but you have money. Some countries would not be interested with your money, because it's not the money. Leadership is about representation. You are going to represent your society, your country. You are going to represent the views, the ideologies that you'd want them to be implemented so that they can help other people. Ideologies that can improve the lives of the disadvantaged. Ideologies that can improve the lives of our single mothers, the lives of our widows, our widowers, the lives of our youths. Why have we had our youths embarking on drug and substance abuse? Do we sit down to ask why? And therefore, a mother is always worried. A mother is so caring. You see your son, your daughter diverting a bit, and you are there, what is happening? So if these ladies are in those leadership positions, you'd see them putting policies, putting systems that would really save the lives of our people. And therefore, my urge and my call to our Kenyans, let us give ladies time. Let us support ladies. Let us come up with organizations that can support these ladies so that their dreams can be actualized. You can imagine, like me, Mary Kirika. How many times have I invited? And I don't give up. Because even after the elections, I go down to the society, the people I serve. Because I believe leadership is a service that you give. I'm not there because I've been paid by anyone, but I'm there because I have a lot to offer to our ladies. We discuss, we do a lot, capacity building all over. In education, I do a lot. There's a lot in education. And so if God has helped me to have the opportunity to share with the ladies, to be the capacity of other people, then why not? So those who have been there and did not make it, don't be discouraged. Be there. Just be there, and your time will come. If the time does not come, come, continue kule huko mashinani. Also continue with them, appoint, if, maybe I would have been appointed by now. So, I mean, let's have policies that consider those ladies. Because every time we are looking for votes, like yesterday, I think I had a meeting, and I had a lot to hear from our youths. That, Mama, we know the day you'll get it, and they are so optimistic that if you get it because you're always with them, you'll set, systems that you help them. So I think somebody's background should be considered. That you have grown with the people, that you have supported people, that you are always with the community. If we think about money, that this one is from a certain family and so has brought money, it will not work.
Naam, yes. Na labda utaniruhusu tu nikuuliza maswali machache kwa ajili ya mtazamaji. What do you think you are going to do different that the rest have not done, ambayo unaona italeta maendeleo?
Now, for me, one, my approach is from the people I represent. I think I can do quite a lot because I have been in the education sector for many years. And I believe in parliament, like today, we are, disturbed by the process of admitting children. Right now, we are talking of placement. A kid in a boarding, is supposed to be a day school. You are posted from Turkana to Muranga or to wherever. If we had very firm way of doing things, then that would not happen. Because in a day school is supposed just to cater for that kid outside there, and a parent who will not be able to offer services in a boarding school, and it is well stipulated why we have day schools and how we support them. But you see, sometimes we are doing things without engaging the stakeholders. So for me, my different way of doing things is to apply inclusivity. Because you don't know everything. When you're elected, does not mean that you know everything. So the issue of inclusivity, which is also constitutional, is what I would apply. So that before we frustrate children in education, that we have done things like now, we even don't have the books right now, grade 10, because things have been done. Yes, we are not saying whatever, but the challenges are there. The parents are there wondering, what do we do? So my way I would advocate for participation. That's why we put public participation. So that in most of these issues, let parents talk about the challenges. Let the students talk about the challenges. Let us also look at our CBE, competent-based curriculum. These days we are calling it education. We started with competent-based curriculum. Now we are calling it competent-based education. It is good. We love it. But every time you plant a seed, it must have time to germinate, to grow, and to produce. Maybe it is the systems that we need to be checking. We've been doing a lot of retooling. Retooling is a process of preparing teachers so that now they can give services. So if we are able to program, we used to have commissions those years. Commissions would sit down, come up with a system, and then the other people are involved, and then amicably you agree and you move on. That's one. The other way that I feel I would really do is to be part of the people that I represent, so that you are not with the people you represent only when you want votes. And after that, you've taken your seat, you have gone, you have no business with them. I think for me, it will be very different. Because I'm so passionate about the people I represent. I'm so passionate about those disadvantaged, those with various challenges, Because having served the society for many years, I know the challenges where those with the physical challenges, we used to call them disabled, but we say, gifted differently, we would have systems for them. How often do we think of those children, those people with those physical challenges in our way of programming and working? I have been there with disadvantaged or gifted differently, and they can do a lot in this country. We only need to recognize them, empower them, and they will make it. They will make it when you give them the opportunities. I've told you, I've worked with women all along. Do you know if you go to Mashinani today, that day I went to a place we call Munyu. Fine, as you now border Ukambani there. And they were reminding me, Mrs. Kirika, you remember you are the one who brought Equity Bank to the grassroots so that we would have our groups registered. Because again, they had groups and they were not registered. I requested Equity to go to the grassroots and register these ladies. And they were just reminding me, I didn't know, because I did that long time ago. But to them, it has touched their lives. It has changed their lives. They are able to do that banking. They are able to borrow the little amount of money, because I was able to convince them. It's not about amount of money that you have to have an account as a mother. That 100 you get, Equity will receive it, and so on and so forth. So they now have accounts, and they have seen the benefit. These small things we ignore are the ones that empower people, and therefore we shall go to them. Look, there is this money we call the Youth Fund. There is the money we call Women Fund. How many have benefited from that? Do they even have the information of how to access these funds? These funds is supposed to help the disadvantaged, the weak ones, the sick ones, the people down there. How many are even aware of how to access? For me, I can tell you, and I believe I'll get this position, there'll be a lot of civic education. Because I know the people I represent. There'll be a lot of civic education. So that whatever we've already set aside, do they know about even procurement? Nobody knows. Last week I was met some ladies, they invited me. They even don't know about procurement. Because we pass constitution, we do things, but things are up here. They are not down there. We need to elect leaders from Mashinani who have walked the journey with these people. So for me, I think I have a lot to implement with these ladies, with those wazees, so that youth can know how to access their fund, women can know how to access their funds, and we can work together. And that's why maybe I was so passionate about women's seat. Because I fought for that seat for the sake of women. But I believe the member of parliament seat will also help me actualize a lot about Thika. Why I feel also Thika should really come up as we want to make it now a city. All right? Yeah, Thika is becoming a city. But, right? But you see, we have not done what it entails. We are still in the process. All right? We are still in the process. And so we wanted to, of course, to see a city. Not the name, but to see a city. A city must start with the changes from the grassroots. The other day, I was collecting those dumped garbage at Kamenu Ward. I went there, and we can send you photos, and you see. The whole place is dumped with pads, vitu ya watu, and hizo pads, when their mothers wanaenda kibarua, that's where those children are going to look for leftovers to eat. I think there is a lot to be done, because we cannot imagine children, mama ameenda kibarua, watoto wako kule, we found them, and what are they opening? Diapers. They think it's food, and many other things. Why have we left our estates not managed properly? not taken care of, we have a lot to do. You know, I want to talk about Thika because that's the much I know. I've talked about national politics. I now want to narrow down to Thika. Sometimes Thika used to be called the industrial town. Huh? It used to be called Birmingham of Kenya. And that's why Thika is so cosmopolitan. Thika, you come, we are all the tribes of Kenya. Because from those early ages, we had industries, major industries. And so people would come from Western, from Nyanza, from all over for employment. I remember because my father was living there, working there at Thika, and I would definitely visit him several times. You would come, there are opportunities in those industries, there are opportunities for women. You come to Thika, it's really cosmopolitan out of those industries. So we are wondering, where did these industries go? When did we stop to be the Birmingham of Kenya? What happened? All right? Yes, it was an industrial town. I remember I planted trees with Wangari Maathai because of the environment. At the municipal level, we planted trees, looking forward to seeing a productive Thika. I don't want to blame anyone, but we know how Thika was, and we know how it is today, and we know how it can be if we sit down and plan for it. And that's what I'm saying. When you are elected, it's not you. It's not just your brain. Engage the people you represent, and things will work. You know, I've been on this women agenda on economic empowerment. Because women are not just to be empowered socially. They are supposed to be empowered economically. There is social, there is economical, there is even emotional. And that's why we are also on GBV, gender-based violence, that we must support women. Why is gender-based violence so prevalent today? What is not happening? Why are young couples, Lily, not able to maintain their marriages? What are we doing, Wamama? What are we doing, Wazes, to make sure even our young ladies, our young men, are catered for, and the marriages will remain? Because there are issues to be discussed. So the issue of gender-based violence, if I'm given the opportunity, is already an issue. It affects not only ladies, it affects even our young men. I'm telling you, if there are people now who are frustrated today, it's our young men. I can talk for them. Because you see, a young man marries a young lady for love. For love. You are not able to provide at a certain level, because even us, we have grown from down there. You keep growing. You work together. But I think before we marry, we must agree that we are not coming for money. And so if kijana cannot provide to the level you want, that you cannot give him time. There is a lot we are going to talk and to teach about gender-based violence. This young man needs a bit of time. I didn't marry my husband because he had anything, not even the family background, but because we agreed. And we have lived those years. Kama ningetoka sababu hana, hata mimi ningetoroka kitambo. So are we able to come up with ideologies and create time for our young families? Because our country, Kenya, I'm just worried. So that's the side of kijana. So kijana is so frustrated. Sasa hii mlembo wangu, na anataka ile nywele ya whatever, anataka, what am I going to do? And I'm not able to provide. Are we able to guide these young people? Be patient with one another. You know, leadership is supposed to be holistic, because we are molding the lives of our people. We are not just there for your position. And therefore, for me, I know that those challenges. What of the lady? I don't just want to talk on behalf of kijana. I'm a mother of vijana and wasichana. What of the girls also? Girls are also going through many challenges. Because, again, as much as they would want to support their families, are we honest with each other? Can I tell you today, any lady who gets married to a man, and so soon this man is not honest, right? That family becomes a challenge, okay? So are we honest with each other? So sometimes, and I don't want to say, sometimes find the ladies are there looking forward to good marriage. What is not happening? So we shall have programs, because those young families, they need to be mentored. I'm a mentor. Supposing we come in as mentors and have programs where we can share with them. Tell kijana wetu, you will make it. Do what you can. Tell the lady, wait, let us move together. Also bring something on board. Go, you are, because you see some ladies, one is working, but he thinks the provider should be the husband. I don't think life is like that. We are there, can I say this one? We are there to complement each other. We are not there for competition. I wish we consider our marriages like that. So you can imagine, I become the member of parliament. You can see the programs, mentorship programs. They'll be there. I have been under these programs of table banking. We started table banking. And I represented women at a program we were calling Christian-Muslim Relations in Africa. And I remember in that forum, I was able to explain why we need table banking in those small villages, because of course we would visit Uganda, we would visit other countries. And we kept talking about this table banking, where women come, they contribute, because if you come here, you bring 100, and our son here brings 100, another one brings 100, we have 500 on the table, or we have 1,000 on the table, and we give it to somebody, or to two people. If they are selling their tomatoes, forgive me because my focus is on those empowerments, those ones. That amount, he goes and he's able to add his small business of tomatoes, his small business of sambusa, ile anauza, his small business ya hizi wanawekelea kwa kichwa wanapeleka kule. And next time akirudisha hizi pesa, you find the business inaendelea kukua. It is growing. And this table banking has helped so many women. What we need to do now as a government, and maybe what I would take to parliament, is, can we have a kitty, right? A kitty that now enhances and improves those small businesses. You know, we have small and micro enterprises. How are women accessing funds that will improve the small and micro enterprises that they already have? And then if we do those things, then we can talk about Singapore. When we are not hungry, we can talk about Singapore. When we can take our children to schools, when we can go to the hospital and be treated, when now Sha will be working, NHIF was working. I don't know Sha how far it has gone. So when all this is done, when women are strong, I want to tell Kenyans, when women will be strong, when our Gen Zs will be strong, when our Zs will be strong, we shall not struggle to go to Singapore.
Wow, that's indeed very timely. Na labda mheshimiwa, mtu pale nyumbani anaweza jiuliza unasimama kiti kipi?
Yes, so I want to tell our people, I know I'm popularly known as Mama County. One, because of that constitution making, I was so instrumental on matters to do with women, because I was still in governance. I have worked with the National Council of Churches of Kenya. I've represented women. Maybe I'm a representative in many organizations. So under the National Council of Churches of Kenya, I was at the NEC level where I represented women. And so we decided to have women encouraged to take leadership positions.
Wale nilimaanisha chama kipi?
NCCK means National Council of Churches of Kenya. Wow. Yeah, imagined we know. NCCK means National Council of Churches of Kenya. Churches, National Council of Churches of Kenya. I was there as a representative, worked many years. At the district level, I was the secretary of the National Council of Churches of Kenya for 9 years, and then went to the national level and I was elected by women to represent them. And out of that, we found that we had very few women taking leadership positions. And because of focusing so much on women, and then again, mambo ya constitution, I'm there talking about women, people now thought Mary is for women, and that's how I've become now to be Mama County, Mama what a lot. And I've told you, 2022, I vied as women representative in Kiambu County. But I want to say today, I pray to God to help me as I vie as a member of parliament, Thika Town constituency. So that I can be able to actualize those dreams that I have. I can tell you, I participated in this free primary education forum where I think I was able to give practical examples as to why we needed free education in Kenya. I was still sent by the NCCK. We used to call ourselves Ufungamano Initiative, and we really fought for free primary education in Kenya. And I remember I was really able to explain why we needed it, because I was already in education. So as a member of parliament, you can imagine my bursary. When I was working with the NCCK, I was in the scholarship committee. And so I was again able to reach so many students, right? I remember going to Monyo, I remember going to Roiro, and we were able to help them. The NCCK was able to help them up to the university level. And so I knew, what are the bursaries doing? What are we giving today? How much are we giving? Have we stipulated a way where we take a kid na tunampeleka anamaliza? Or do we give a kid 1,000? You are giving this girl 1,000. Mama has just sold the goats and the whatever to take her to Form 1, and after Form 1, she cannot proceed on. Right? So what is this that we do so that we are sure free secondary education is actualized? Because there is talking and what people are asked to pay. Talk to the parents, to those who are taking their students. There is this 50, I don't know what, 1,000 to be paid, 100,000. It has to be there. As a nation, and as a member of parliament, I think I would be very instrumental in terms of setting our priorities right.
Wow. From what I've heard from you, you are a lover of family.
Yes,
Wewe ni mtu ambaye unapenda familia na umesema unaokoka. Labda una mpango upi? How will you suppose ufaulu kuingia kwenye kiti hiki upate? How will you manage family and politics? Najua kuna wanawake wengi sana wameingia kwenye siasa, wamekuwa celebrities, lakini tunawapoteza. Sijui una mpango upi ili kusaidia mwanamke pale nyumbani?
Yes, I'm a lover of families from the Christian perspective. And I've told you I've worked for many organizations for families. Because when you say you are representing families, I've said we are complementing each other. And therefore we are all mindful of each other. I feel like our men have been left behind kidogo. Today, when you look at those people who are getting very serious medical challenges, men are not coming out clearly to share the challenges that they are going through. You know, naturally, women are created to speak and talk and cry and stop. When you cry, now the problems are over, kind of. And to share. You'll tell the other mama, you know what is happening in my house and so on. But men don't do a lot of sharing. And so I would urge, when I represent these people at my sub-county level, I'm telling you, we shall have engagement programs. We need to engage. When the family is weak, the country is weak. When the family is weak, the church is weak. When the family is strong, we are all strong. And so we shall be able to have engagement, good engagement, where men will feel free to share, where ladies will feel free to share with the families. Family life, many years ago, there used to be family life education. And I joined NCCK through family life education. Family life education caters for all. For men, for women, and for the youths. And that's the only way you can build a nation, that there is family life education, where at an appropriate time, people are given the opportunity to share what they are going through. And then you are able to support each other, to engage each other. Today, men are just quiet, and we know the challenges that they are going through. There should be that engagement programs. There is the issue of resource mobilization or accessing funds. Quite often you don't find men sharing their challenges. And so, what programs do we have for men? For many years, we've been talking about ladies. And of course, because we were down there, ladies were down there. If you had two children, if you had a boy here and a girl, and they do their exam, maybe at the primary level, the girl gets more marks than the boy. Who would be taken to school? Is the boy, not the girl. So we came in as educationists to say, no, give the two of them a level playing field or ground where they can all work. And that we have seen. It's not that we isolated the man. It's because traditionally the lady was isolated. Now that the girls have been given the opportunities, you can see the way they have come up. So we are happy. But we are saying, what of our men? Because the problem again with the men, they become discouraged so quickly instead of pressing on and moving on. And therefore, we shall have many programs that will make sure that our society is balanced. Our society is balanced. Accessibility of funds, we are talking of women and youth. There are those funds that we say they can access. Why can't we talk of communities? All right? So that we have funds, accessibility of funds through groups. Men today, we have told them to form groups. They have formed groups. Okay? Are they able to access funds for their small businesses? Because wakati mzee anapeleka mkate nyumbani anasikia mzuri. We want everybody to be empowered. We want to share the experiences that we have. We also want to be role models. For me, I believe in being a good role model. Are we electing leaders whom other people can emulate? Somebody can say, me, I want to be like my member of parliament because I represent people. And I'm part of these people. I'm part of the society. I will not be back to them after 5 years for re-election. And I've not been with them. So the issues of integrity, I want to talk about integrity. That when you are a leader, we must see you as a leader of integrity. We must see you as a role model. We must see you as somebody who has something to offer. Not for yourself, but for the society. I would love to see servant leadership. Maybe because of the church perspective. Servant leadership, where you serve your people with passion. Where you go where they are and you're able to tell. I think where we put policies where it's not, we are so mindful about ourselves. Maybe even for me, it might not be very popular. But for me, I've been wondering, why are we all fighting for these positions? Why is it that it's like everybody wants to have this position, that position? Are we going there for these people that we represent? And so if I'm given an opportunity, I think there'll be a lot of debate in Parliament. The other day, we had the finance bill. I see people just signing finance bill, signing. Yet you represent so many people. And then later you say, I did not understand it. And within no time, Gen Zs are dying. Why? I think we must talk of quality leadership.
Thank you so much. And maybe kwa dakika moja tu ningependa uangalie ile kamera. Kwanza uguzie tu maoni yako kwa swala ambalo limetokea juzi Nyeri na aliyekuwa naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua akiwa kanisani. Najua swala hilo linahusu wamama, linahusu watoto, na pia uzungumze na wanathika. Waambie jambo tunapomaliza.
Thank you. It is very disappointing also as a nation to see that we have gone beyond what any human being would think of. That you see people in the churches, they are now sitting worried and wondering what is likely to happen. We see tear gases in churches. We see children, crying in the churches. We see bishops and pastors hiding while in church because they don't know what to do. We no longer respect those sanctuaries, places of worship, where we know in Kenya and even in the Constitution, we say we are 80% Christians. Kenyans, we are 80% Christians. Yet this is what we see. I'm so saddened by what I see happen to Honorable, His former Excellency Deputy President Gachagua. Why? Isn't Kenya a democratic country? Aren't our churches open for worship? What are they for? If they are not for worship, if they are not holy places where you go to talk to your God, where you go and tear, your tears there because you are praying, you are worshiping God. Is it a place where you want to go and distract everybody because you no longer consider it as a holy place? This is not the way to go. I remember just the other day, the deputy president, the former deputy president, Honorable Gachagua, the recent one is in Nyeri, the other day Kiambu. From Nyeri, and now previously Kiambu. And I was in that church, Kiambu church. I was there. And I can tell you, everybody was hiding. You are trying to check, where do I go? Just to save your life. Old women were there scared, and they didn't know what to do. The disabled, because in church you have everybody. They didn't know what to do. Well, of course, the security is trying to take care of this man, which should not be the case in the church. Every other person is worried. Children are being, held and uplifted from down there. A lot of mess that we see. I'm happy at least the National Council of Churches has condemned this act. That it is really ungodly, it's unconstitutional to turn our places of worship, our houses of worship, as places of tear gases, as a place where we don't care what we do. I want to urge every Kenyan to condemn this act. Because today is the Deputy President Gachagua, former Deputy President. Tomorrow it will be you, tomorrow it will be me, tomorrow it will be your daughter, tomorrow it will be the whole nation, where the word of God will no longer have respect. Look at the other day again. We had some men, wanafunga vitambaa, and they are going to church. Men. Unafunga kitambaa, you are going to church. Surely, God is not a chupa like this. That you do what you want with him. It is really touching that our churches are no longer respected. That we don't go to worship, we go to mess our country. As Kenyans, remember we have a constitution that respects our places of worship. We are Christians, we are Muslims, wherever you worship, we all fear God. I don't know what we are going to do, but this has touched every Kenyan, that you must have people to protect you, that we must carry guns to the church. It is not right. Something is wrong somewhere. We need to talk as Kenyans. Because again, if we keep on fearing, we don't have any other country to live in. This is the country, Kenya. And any leader who is there has been elected, and elected in a more democratic manner, in a more peaceful manner. We want to have our tomorrow where you can go and worship. If I want to worship wherever I want, I can go, because this is a free country. This is a democratic country. We want to encourage our people to share views, even in those churches. So it is not right. It's not good. And I want to tell my Thika people, we join those who have been attacked in churches. We give them our pole as Thika people, and we want to say we condemn that act with those strongest words that we can share, and we want to say our future cannot continue like this. We must change, and the change will come from us, because we say democracy is leadership of the people, and by the people, and for the people. It cannot be for the people when you cannot go to the house of worship. I happen to be the chair of Kenya Private Schools, Thika. I want to extend my greetings to them, all the directors, Thika. I know we are doing a lot in education. Kula zenu ziwe za kwanza, mnajua agenda ya masomo, tumeongea, masomo ya biashara dogo, mambo ya barabara zetu za Thika, mambo ya, those dumping sites where we correct our children, and a lot of things that we are going to do as leaders. So Kenya Private Schools, all over Kenya, get my greetings. Thika, where I'm your chair, I request we move together. Niseme nafurahia sana kuwa hapa. Tunaongea juu ya nchi yetu, tunaongea mambo ya uongozi wa wamama, na kwa kweli tumeangalia tukaona pahali popote wamama wako wameshikilia vizuri. Wanaogopa Mwenyezi Mungu, anatenda, wanafanya kazi. Naomba watu, especially watu wa Thika. Mimi nasimama kiti ya umbunge ya Thika. Sasa siendi kule kwa mama county. Ningetaka kuwa mama wa wote. Ningetaka kutumikia wazee. Ningetaka kutumikia vijana wetu. Ningetaka kutumikia wazee wetu. Ningetaka kutumikia makanisa yetu pale nimekuwa miaka yote. Na kwa hivyo nawaomba kwa heshima. Kwa heshima, Mama Mary Wajiro Kirika, watu wa Thika, amekuomba kura yako. Anaweza kuwa hana maneno labda yale watu wanaangalia, lakini ile uhusiano wake na uongozi wake kwa watu wale tumekuwa na wao, na mambo ile tumeyaweka kwa katiba tukiangalia mazuri. Naomba sana kura zenu, watu wa Thika. Is mbunge wenu na nitawatumikia. I'm not coming to start. Ni kuendelea na kazi.
Asante sana kwa muda wako mheshimiwa. Hii ni Women's in Politics TV, na labda mtazamaji uko pale nyumbani, wewe ni mwanasiasa, unataka kuingia kwenye siasa, wewe ni mama, chukua simu yako, piga hii namba 0753828606, ukuje tuzungumze kwenye makala ya wanawake ndani ya siasa. Mimi naitwa Edith.